Alhamdulillah, we finished another Khatam, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. And we finished another month of worshiping together, reciting the Quran together, and unifying our hearts through the recitation of Quran. And you might think that it's my cat. You might think that because this is a virtual gathering, and because we're each sort of reading on our own and we're not sitting in a room together and reciting the khatam, you might think that it's different, that the energy is not the same as when we're all sitting together and reciting the Quran together. And yes, perhaps that's true. Perhaps when we are all sitting in a room together, uh, there is an energy that's created, and many of us feel that, and it feels very beautiful when we're sitting together in a gathering of dhikr, and we know that the angels will surround us and make dua for us. However, the energy that our hearts give off and the spiritual energy that we give when we do ibadah can cross distance and time, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not bound by time and distance the way that we are and the way that our minds are bound. So I feel that when we're gathering in this way, even if it's virtual and even though we're each reading on our own, I do feel that we are bringing our heart's energies together and our spiritual energies together. And I think there is a beautiful connection of the hearts that happens with that. And there's a beautiful synergy that happens with that. So I don't want us to ever discount that or dismiss that or think that it's not, as powerful as it really is. There's actually some studies, that have been done that show these kinds of things when people gather. And I think I mentioned that in the past. And so what I wanted to share today really briefly, it's actually Maghrib time here, so I'm just going to be really brief. I just wanted to share that we know in Islam that the importance of intention, and one of the most popular hadith is innamal a'malu binniyat. Verily, the actions are by intentions. And there's a lot of research, even in the secular spirituality world, about the importance of setting an intention. And as we come now towards the end of this Gregorian year, a lot of people go into the next year and they set New Year's resolutions. What I want to reframe that for us as Muslims is setting our intentions. When you put an intention out there for whatever deed you're going to do, so let's say my intention is I'm going to go now and pray 3 rak'ahs of the Farad of Maghrib. Or let's say my intention is I'm going to call my mom because I want to be good to her because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to be good to our parents. Whatever the intention is, when you put an intention out there, it changes the energy around you and it changes your benefit that you're going to get from the deed that you're going to do, not only in the realm of our reward. So our reward is going to be obviously in large part based on what the intention is. So if my intention in calling my mom, is to create a fight with her, like call her out on something that she said to me, um, obviously I'm not going to get the same reward as if I'm calling her to be kind to her, even if she doesn't answer, and I never even have that argument with her. You get the reward if you're calling for a good purpose and a good deed. Even if she doesn't answer, you still get the reward as if you did that. And so my point in saying all of this is you can put an intention out there for something um, that you want to see happen in your life, inshallah. Let's say you would like to go to Hajj for next year. You put that intention out there from now and you work towards that intention in whatever ways you need to do that, preparing yourself spiritually, physically, working with whatever, getting on the Nusuk website, registering, working with the travel agency, all the things that are going to need to logistically be done and, as well. But just the act of putting that intention out there can facilitate that road for you. So even when we're making dua for all the things that we're making dua for, we want to make sure also that we're setting intentions for those things. So people who are wanting to get married or wanting to change their job or something like that, or travel, that when we set that intention out there, that also changes the energy around that event, inshallah. And it changes what we do towards that thing. So let's say somebody sets an intention to go to Hajj next year. what the way that they're going to behave between now and next June is different than how somebody is going to behave who hasn't set the intention to make Hajj next year. The person who hasn't set the intention is not going to be doing all these various mental, spiritual, and logistical preparations. It doesn't mean they won't be able to go to Hajj. Somebody can come along at the last minute sometimes and it just works out for them. But the way that they prepare is going to be quite different. So you can see how the mindset shift makes a difference. And there's a reason that the Prophet ﷺ reminded us about the importance of our intention. So when you go towards your salah or you sit down to eat your dinner or your breakfast or whatever it is, think more mindfully about your intention. This is my reminder to myself, not just to you guys, but just to think more mindfully about my intention. And then the last thing I want to close with is pair that intention with gratitude as much as you can. So especially when it comes to something like eating or traveling or whatever, it's easy because you're sitting down to eat and you can easily make the intention. You say the dua for eating and you make the intention that you're eating to strengthen yourself so that you can be a good servant to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you're grateful for whatever it is that you're going to be eating. And you know that there are people who don't have food, and we know we should be grateful for everything. But when you actually feel that gratitude, it actually changes your heart. And it actually elevates your mood when the more that you focus on the things that you're grateful for. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, if you thank me, I will increase you. So the more that we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for things that we have in our life that we might otherwise take for granted, frankly, the more that Allah will increase us in those things, but will also increase us. He says that I will increase you. We might think that more materially, like, okay, if I thank Allah for my money, He's going to give me more money. But it could also be that Allah increases you in gratitude and He increases your heart in good feelings because the more that we're grateful, it actually increases your mood. And there's a lot of research and science that proves that. So, when Allah tells us He's going to increase us, it can be in these variety of ways. So that's just a few words I wanted to share, things I've been reflecting on the importance of intention and gratitude. And I hope that we can kind of practically try to mindfully apply those things in our life this month until we meet again, inshallah. So I'll see all of you, inshallah, again at the end of the next month when we do our next gathering. And please keep one another and myself in your du'as. Thank you all for showing up today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.